Are we live? Hopefully we're live. I think there's a delay in my feed. Alright. Okay guys, well, this is part 2 of Dungeon Meshi stream. So it's been a couple of weeks since the last one, and hopefully the audio is a lot better this time, because after I rewatched the previous stream, I realized that there was, the volume was too low. So hopefully this is much better. I raised the volume levels on the settings. But just as a recap, this is the drawings that we did. So originally we started with this one. This was our first attempt. And then I tried it again, and this was a little bit better. This looks a lot more like him. And this is the third drawing I left off. So if you're joining me for the first time, I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Candy, also known as Kawaiistarz, and I usually make lots of like cute little artwork that feature my dogs as my mascots, but I also do fan art, my favorite animes. And some of the things I also do for fun is quick doodles. So what quick doodles for me is, I just look at a reference, any reference, and I doodle with just a Sharpie, or any marker really, but I tend to use Sharpies. And the idea is that there's no real pre-sketching, and I try to sketch everything in under 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes or so. And I usually do this at conventions as well as commissions. I don't do it all the time, it depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I get a little, tired setting up for conventions, so if I'm not in the mood I won't do the doodles. But this is, for me, is practice on being more deliberate with my lines, basically. Alright, so let's get started. So today we're gonna, first doodle we're gonna work on is gonna be Senshi. So the other ones I did vertically. Maybe I should also do this one vertically, because my reference for this one is a screenshot of from the TV show that I took while I was watching, where he has like the tentacle with vinegar dressing that looks like a banana. But I kind of want to include the banana. Let's see if I can fit it all in. So one of the problems I usually have with drawing like this is trying to fit everything on the page. I usually start off way too big, and then not everything fits on the page. Okay, I've already started too big. And this is going to be my first attempt, so I haven't warmed up with any previous sketches, so it may take me 2 attempts to get this particular sketch right, because that seems to what have happened the last time that I did this. And the more I get warmed up, the more deliberate I tend to get with my lines, and not as kind of like sketchy like this. It's like, and usually when I'm at a convention, before I put up my commissions available sign, I will have probably done several of these to warm up, to kind of judge if I'm going to be able to do commissions or not, because I don't want to give anyone a bad drawing. I mean, yes, these are only quick doodles that are only 15 minutes, and they're not meant to be really polished masterpieces, but I don't want to give anything to someone that I wouldn't be proud of, or, you know, I want people to be happy with a doodle that they get from me, because, you know, they're giving me their hard-earned money for it. But also, a lot of the time, people don't tell me if they liked the drawing. They kind of like grab the drawing and run. So I'm not really sure if they liked it or not. I hope they like it. Okay, so probably before I get into too much detail, I probably should block out the rest of it. So usually when I'm at a convention, I'm referencing the doodle on my phone, but right now I have it on my computer. And yeah, so a lot of the times I also only take commissions if Alex is with me, because it I have a hard time focusing if I'm also taking transactions, unless the convention's really slow. Sometimes conventions are so slow that like I'm dying to do a commission just to entertain myself. And if I don't get commissions, then I'll just start randomly doing quick doodles on my own and putting them for sale. So at conventions, I do have like pre-made quick doodles that I have for sale sitting out there of like things that I thought were going to be popular at the con, or they're just doodles I felt like doing while I was just chilling. Like I said, this is something I really enjoy doing for practice on trying to be a lot more deliberate with my lines, because you cannot erase Sharpie. And actually my favorite painting medium is acrylic, because I can go over my mistakes, whereas other ones, kind of like a watercolor, you kind of have to think about what you're doing more. So it's starting to take shape. You're starting to be able to see the character come out. I wonder if my light's too bright. I think it's like blowing it out. Let me see if I can lower the light. Is it this button? There we go. And I know Senshi is a fan favorite for Dungeon Meshi. I haven't finished watching all of the show, but what I've seen of it, I do enjoy. I think it's really funny. So what is it they say? Hunger is the best spice. But yeah, I think this is the one I see cosplayed the most, is Senshi. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. It's been a while since I watched the TV show, so might be remembering the names wrong. Please forgive me. But yeah, this screenshot is one I took from where I'm currently at in the show. This is pretty much the last episode I've watched, is when they were fighting this thing from the ceiling. Okay, is there room for the not banana? I say not banana because it's supposed to be a tentacle, but it looks like a banana. I think the other popular one of Senshi that I see like people do art for is the bread episode. That one was a pretty good episode as well. peel. Actually, maybe this is more like a plantain than a banana because of how they like were seasoning it in the show from what I remember. Might be more plantain-like. Alright, so now I've got the initial sketch done. What I'll do is go in and define some of the lines more, especially because this one was a lot more sketchy. What I mean by sketchy is I drew a lot more like hash mark lines, whatever you call them. So I'll go back and clean up the lines that I actually wanted. Now, sometimes I do try to do shading with the marker, but a lot of the times it comes out too busy when I do it. I haven't really mastered doing the shading in a way that it doesn't overpower the drawing with just the Sharpie. So that's something I'm still working on. So I think for this one, because there's a lot of lines on it already, I'm probably just gonna leave the no shading. Oh, you know what? I think there was I bought new markers to try that wasn't Sharpies, and I don't know where I put them. I'll have to do that next time. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, I meant to do that for this stream. I completely forgot until just now. And I have to, because the thing is, I like the way the Sharpie goes on the page, but I don't like the smell of the Sharpie. So I bought a couple of other markers that weren't smelly to try, and then I forgot to have them ready for stream. What I can attempt is the shading on the mustache, because that's pretty straightforward. Maybe. This might not look good. We'll find out. He's got a lot of detail in his mustache, honestly. Yeah, shading definitely adds a lot more time. I didn't even look at my watch when I started this, so I'm not sure how long I've already been drawing, if it's already been 10 to 15 minutes. But also I think like if I'm doing this while streaming, it will take me longer because I am talking. And one thing like that I am limited in my commissions is I usually only do portraits because I'm not that good at doing full body poses yet. So I figure I'd start, you know, a little bit at a time. So all of the commissions I do are pretty much just from the chest up or neck up, because it also keeps it simple. And then as I get better, then I'll offer more full body poses, because a lot of the times like I'll get commissions where people are like, can you draw this person doing this? And I'm like, maybe. have to look up references for what that pose would look like. Whereas if someone just gives me a character, then it's a lot easier for me to just like look up any picture of that character and draw them. So while I'm not inventing like a new pose for them per se, like it is still like an actual doodle, so I think there's some charm in something that's hand-drawn, especially when it's rough and you can kind of see the sketch lines. A lot of the time I like to see artwork with the in-process sketch lines in between and behind it. And a lot of the time I feel like when I clean up the lines of my own work, like I lose some of that energy because it feels like it becomes more static when I start cleaning up all the lines and stuff. You know, in my head, I thought his horns were bigger, but in this reference, his horns aren't that big. Alright, well that's pretty much If I keep messing with it anymore, I'm gonna probably mess it up. Maybe I'll clean up this banana a little bit. There we go. That's fairly decent. Not bad for a first sketch of the day. You know what? I'm pretty okay with that. So we can move on to the next drawing. Let me pull up my next reference. So let's get one of Chilchuck. Take a sip of coffee in between. Alright. This one, don't do this one vertically. Yeah, I'm just gonna do more of a small portrait. I was debating if I should draw his, because like the pose I'm doing is he's like slamming his fist down on the table, and I didn't know if I felt like drawing his arms, but I think we're gonna try just his head right now. And I think I've already started it too big, because he's got a big ol' ear. I remember, I forgot what episode that was, but they were talking about it and his age, I think. And I forgot if he's like in his late 20s or 30s or something. But he's like way older than everyone thought, because he looks like a little kid. So this Sharpie's almost dying. So see how I can do light lines Sometimes I keep track of which Sharpies are somewhat dying, and I use that for shading actually, because the lines won't be as dark. But I've only got one Sharpie with me here today, so we're gonna make do with whatever we got. This one seems like I started a little off. I might have to redraw this one, but we'll keep going and see where this takes us. Yeah, sometimes when I do commissions I end up drawing them twice because the first time didn't turn out right. And it's weird, it's like, you would think it's always my first one that's bad, like my first drawing of the day, but sometimes it turns out good. Like that Senshi one turned out okay. And then I try to draw right after it, and it looks terrible. So, I don't know. And then the day after the stream, I'll have these posted online. So if anyone is interested in getting these, they'll be up there on the website, in our shop. But if they don't sell, I'll probably sell it at my next convention, I think. And the next convention we'll be at is our local convention, which is WasabiCon. We don't have any out of town conventions for the rest of the year, which is fine because I am out of vacation days. I can't leave town anymore. That's the only thing when you have like a full-time job and you try to do the con life is like, well, I don't think I drew his eyes too high up. Oh well. But yeah, is that you use all of your vacation days to do more work, which can cause burnout, so I have to be careful. But I'm really excited because next week I am taking a trip to Japan. Not a very long trip, it's going to be a short one for only a week, but I'm doing Mew Tripled's art workshop, and I'm hoping to connect with more artists and from different walks of life, and just overall like get to hear about Michelle's experiences and hopefully learn something. And if anything, do lots and lots of nerding out and shopping around Japan. It's like young me would be so excited that we finally have made this trip happen. Wish I could stay longer, but it is what it is. Maybe like in a couple years I'll come back, because I definitely want to come back with Alex and go to like Tokyo and do all of the Ghibli museums and Sailor Moon museums, because this trip is going to be focused in Osaka and Kyoto, and we're going to also visit the deer in Nara. And when I signed up for this trip, I was like, oh, this will give me a good reason to get back to learning Japanese. I did not study Japanese. I started with Duolingo for like a little bit, and then I got lazy. So I'm like cramming some important Japanese phrases. I mean, I do remember like some basic greetings and stuff, but yeah, I cannot speak Japanese, and I've forgotten how to read katakana and hiragana. So That was ill-prepared on my part, but we're going to try to get by with Google Translate. And I also was able to get a new DJI Osmo Pocket 3, because what better time to try to record a high-quality vlog than a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Japan, right? And plus I was also really worried about using my phone for everything. I mean, that's how I've been recording everything up until now for all the vlogs that I've done. And it's been fine for the most part, but if I'm traveling around, I don't want to rely on my phone for the video because it does take up a lot of room on the phone, and I don't have that much room on my phone. I have a older Samsung F20, what was the initials? F20 FE? I think FE. And it only has a limited amount of space, even with the SD card I put in it. But also the other problem is that I don't know what happened with the Mac software updates, but the transfer software no longer really works when you USB plug in your phone, so it's hard for me to get the files off, because if I do Bluetooth transfer, which is the only way I'm able to transfer it to my laptop, it takes forever, and I can directly connect a hard drive to my phone to transfer out, but I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, and I just really wanted a camera anyway. So I'm gonna try to do my best to learn this week how to use that camera, and that's actually what I'm gonna do after I end this stream, is watch some tutorials on how to use it. Right now it's charging, so I was like, let me go stream while I wait, because I am so excited for this camera. Like, I don't know what to do with myself, so let me keep myself busy drawing while I wait for it to start working. I mean, not start working, start charging. Finish charging. Oh my goodness. What is wrong with me? I guess you do see some of his hands in this drawing. Just a little bit of it, though. If I tilt it to the side, that's where I get the lighter Sharpie line. I'm trying to pack as light as I can for my trip to Japan too, because I want to be able to have lots of room for shopping, and so I'm going to only bring my favorite art supplies, and the rest I'm going to hopefully shop on new art supplies. Like, I'll probably buy more Copics, even though I'm still struggling to learn how to use them properly. So, oh, that reminds me. That means I need to make a list of the Copics I already have. so I don't end up buying the same ones. Because I heard that Copics are much cheaper if you buy them there. And one of the things I really, really hope to do is also be able to visit a shrine and get a Goshun. There seems to be one that's like really close to the hotel that we're staying at, so that's the one I'm going to go for. When I get to Japan, it's going to be too early for me to check in, I think, unless they let me check in early, so I'm probably going to try to drop my stuff off at the hotel and then head on over to that shrine to see if I can get a Goshun book and stamp. And I know they're only open till 5, so that's actually good. I'll do that first. Yeah, so the proportions are a bit off on here. I'm trying to like fudge my way through it, but basically I lost his forehead. I seem to do that a lot, because I did that the first time when I drew, what's his name? When I first drew Laos, I didn't have his forehead. So, should I try drawing this one again? Or should I just let it be? Let's see. What other character did I want to draw? Well, there's also Namari. I could draw Namari. Make this line bolder so it doesn't get lost in the shading lines. No, it's whatever. We'll just leave this one as is. Alright, let's get to our Namari drawing. Another sip of coffee in between. Alright, so let's draw Mari. Everybody in this show got some big old ears. Make sure I keep the face small enough to be able to fit everything in here. Oh no, now the face is too small. think I might have to restart this one. This seems pretty bad. Let's see if I can save it. I think the next set that I'm probably going to do after this one is going to be One Piece. Yeah, maybe One Piece. One Piece isn't something I haven't drawn before. I have done those drawings for the convention. Oh, sorry, I forgot to keep talking. Sometimes I get a little focused on what I'm drawing and I forget to keep talking. Her hair is very, very big shapes. So a lot of the time when I get references, I do sometimes like to screenshot the show while I'm watching it, just because sometimes, now this is like if I'm not at a convention, if I'm just doodling at home, because I find that sometimes when I Google images of the characters, there's not really that much variety sometimes, and I'm looking for different expressions. Ooh, gotta be careful, don't draw on my table. So this screenshot was from the scene where they were saying, I think that she, like, can't rejoin the party or something because people will talk or whatnot, so this is that scene where everyone's, like, looking at her. So, because I'm trying to hide that goof up around the face there when I was trying to make it bigger. Trying to make the other lines darker. And like I said, it's whatever with these drawings. They're meant to be rough. But I do kind of want it to look nice. I feel like I want to redraw this one. I'm not happy with it. Yeah, there's something real weird about my proportions right here. So usually if I redraw a character because I didn't like how I drew it the first time, when I do commission, I'll sometimes include both drawings unless it's like really bad. Okay, let's try drawing this one again. No bueno. Okay, let's try to draw a through line. Normally I try to avoid this because it adds more lines, but like if I'm sketching with a pencil that I can erase, I usually draw a circle and then the hash crosshair lines for where the eyes would be. But I try not to do that when I'm drawing with a marker because it makes it look messy. So this time I'm going to try to focus on getting the face right first. Sorry, I'm like, stop talking because I'm really trying to focus on getting this right because I'm doing it the second time. sometimes if I start from the center and work my way out, it helps keep the proportions together. It's like sometimes immediately within the first 30 seconds of me drawing my first lines, I know when a drawing's going to be not good. And if I'm doing commissions and I'm in a hurry, I will immediately stop drawing. And I won't finish trying to power through the drawing like I did with that last one. But I figured since we're just practicing, I might as well just draw through it and kind of get more of a feel for the character. That feels better, I think. I really should have a timer next to me, or take a look at the clock to see how long I'm spending on a drawing, to make sure I'm not spending too much time on them. Because the point is quick doodles. So I want to make sure that it stays a quick doodle instead of spending too much time on any one drawing. Now I'm gonna go through my initial sketch and try to darken certain lines to finish off the drawing. Oh, I think I messed up the mouth. Sometimes when I do these, there's characters I just can't get right too. It takes me 3 or 4 times to do a quick doodle. So I feel like this is still not right. The face is a little too squished. It needs to go wider. But I am not going to draw it a third time for this stream. I'm just going to call it how it is. So, this is them side by side. It's the second one I drew, that's the first one. So, still fairly similar. The chin is down a little bit more, and the eyes are a little bit different. I was looking that way because I'm looking at the monitors I have on screen. But overall, okay. It's okay. Could be better, but it is what it is. It's a quick doodle. Oh, you know what I didn't look up a reference of? The sister. Let me see if I can pull up a reference real quick. I'll have to slide off screen here for a second. There's a picture of Fallon. Make the picture bigger. There we go. Okay. Got a reference for Fallon. Ooh, I hope that wasn't really loud when I clicked the images like that. I mean images, the drawings. What am I talking about? Alright, the last drawing we're going to do for this stream is going to be Fallon. Fallen? Fallon? The Fallen. Anyways. Which is ironic because she has fallen. Oh wait, was that the intent of her name? Part of the problem is going to be, am I going to have enough room for her hat and hair? Her bangs are going to be about there. To do a lot of other cursory lines because most of her face shape is actually covered by her hair in this reference. She's the only one without gigantic ears, but maybe she does have gigantic ears as well. It's just that her hair is hiding them. I don't think I've ever seen anyone cosplay her. Everyone's cosplayed everyone else that I've seen so far, but I haven't seen anyone cosplay Fallon. Hers would actually be pretty easy to cosplay. It's like a beret and a robe and a collared shirt. Is the hat gonna fit? Just barely. I think her face shape's a little off. Some days I'm just like on point with the drawings. Other days, not so much. But like I said, I haven't drawn in a while, so I am a little bit out of practice. I need to stay on top of it and try and draw every day so that I can do these a little bit better. Yeah, she has like a slight curve on the jawline there, which is a little off in my drawing. Yeah, this is another case where I should have really focused in on the middle before I really worked out the outside. But I was so concerned about being able to fit her top of her head in. I mean, you can still tell it's her, probably, right? Yeah, this Sharpie is dying. It'll become another shading Sharpie for me. I think part of it is I was leaning back while I was drawing. I need to lean on top of my drawing more. I don't know how I was leaning back so far. Alright, well, there you have it. That is pretty much all my drawings for Dungeon Meshi until I revisit again. Next time I do this, I think we will be doing One Piece quick doodles. Kind of fudged up the mouth there. Like, desperate trying to fix the face shape. Been having trouble with face shapes today. That's what happens when you don't draw for a while. Alright, so let's recap what we got. So we've got Fallon. And we also got, what's her face? Namari. So Fallon, 2 attempts at Namari. And Chilchuck. And Senshi. And then from the previous stream, we have Marcel and 2 attempts at Laos. So this is the more accurate version of Laos. So all of these drawings I'm going to put on the shop by tomorrow. So the day after the date of this stream. If you're watching it after the stream's been up, you can still go ahead and check on the website. It might still be there. I don't have that many followers right now, so there's a good chance these drawings are still on the website. But, yeah, if there's something in particular you'd like me to do as a theme for one of these quick doodle streams, comment down below and let me know. And I probably won't be doing one of these for another couple weeks, because I am preparing for that trip to Japan, and I'm going to try to make a vlog of it, so look forward to that as well. And thanks for hanging out with me this evening. Oh wait, you know what?